It's week 7. This is the Westside Premier Fantasy Football Update Show. We're midway through our season. And let's take a look. It's time to pay attention to those standings. Bastard Sons of Pele, 6-0. Off to a 6-0 start. Bastard Sons, what an appropriate name. Bastard Sons of Pele, with the emphasis on the B word. Jim is off to a fantastic start. Sits atop the Division del Norte. Followed closely, not so much, at 3-3 by Autosmack, Mr. Guy Petty, and then number 7. And I'm out of this contention as well. I just dropped out of the playoffs after my pathetic showing over the last couple of weeks at 3-3. In the Division del Sur, the one who knocks at 5-1, Phil Flores, leading that division. Ferocious Fennec, Mr. Jacob McCarthy at 4-2. Brother Is at 3-3. And Rough the Passer at 3-3. Those 4 teams out of that lesser division would make the playoffs if they were to start today. But they don't. They start in 6 weeks. Any rate, we're halfway. Hard to believe, man. Where do the season go? So let's go take a look at the... let's talk about bye weeks real quick. This week you got 2 teams on bye. You got Oakland and you got New Orleans. So make your adjustments. Thursday night game is Seattle and Arizona. So I had no business winning that game. I beat Autosmack 91-75. Neither one of us should have won that game. Should have ended in a tie. Scored less than 100 points. It's just pathetic. But my team has been really, really struggling as of late. The one who knocks takes the win, moves on to 5-1, 126-96 over the Ferocious Fennec. Ghetto Superstar, 2-4. Moves to 2-4 with a 123-105 win over the Beatdown. Brother Is 116-108 over Alier Rogers. Bastard Sons of Pele. Bastards Sons of Pele. 150.8 to 146.6 over Carlos Danger. And Da Biz 135 over Rough the Passers 121. Let's take a look at our matchups. Oh no, real quick, let's do League Pick'em. League Pick'em. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 owners participating this week. Carlos Danger goes off at 4-2. Rough the Passer at 3-3. Ollie Rogers at 3-3. Smell this, pathetic 1-5. Miles, Ghetto Superstar at 4-1. Jake McCarthy 2-4, and Matt Weeble, Da Biz, nuts, goes 4-2. 4-2. All right, leading this here competition, we have a tie. We have a tie between Carlos Danger, Mike Quain, and Rough the Passer, Rob Feinstein. Both are tied with identical 23-12 records, sitting at 657 for the year. So a nice horse race between Rob and Mike. Those two are all about the money. You know what? They're just about the money. Mike wins it all last year. Rob's always competitive, finds his angles. At any rate, here we go. Taking a look at this week. Got Beatdown this week. Oh my God. I'm only projected to score 63 points. I got Breeze on bye, so I'll cover for him. But other key matchups, Greg Jennings. I lost Julio Jones. Tisk. I'm getting no love over here. So I picked up Greg Jennings against the New York Giants. Got Rashard Mendenhall against Seattle. Danny Woodhead, he did awful against Jacksonville. For Johnny, Carson Palmer against Seattle. Calvin Johnson against Cincinnati. Darren Sproles on bye, but John will cover it. Because I always roll this way, I'm going to give myself the pick, but I wouldn't be surprised to see me drop 2 in a row. It's happened before. Don't care for it, but it does. Ferocious Fennec is going to take on Brother Is. It's a 124-113 game right now in favor of the Brother. But he's got Cutler against Washington. Well, maybe that balances itself out. Wes Welker against Indiana. Jamal Charles against Houston for Mike Hutchinson. Andrew Luck against Denver. Brandon Marshall against Washington. Torrey Smith against Pittsburgh. And Adrian Peterson against New York Giants for Master Jacob. I'm going to give the win to Brother Is. For no other reason than I think he's got a little bit better matchups, quite frankly. Let's take a look at the next game. The next game is going to be Carlos Danger, 2-4, versus Ghetto Superstar, 2-4. Two teams are Pretty much identical. It's a 117.8 to 116.9 game right now in favor of Miles. Andy Dalton against Detroit, Dwayne Bowe against Houston, Andre Brown against Baltimore, Maurice Jones-Drew against Philly for Miles. For Carlos Danger, Russell Wilson, who's having a pretty decent year, goes off against Arizona, LaShawn McCoy against Dallas, Reggie Bush against Cincinnati, and Vernon Davis against Tennessee. He's been a big part of that offense. Although Michael Crabtree, I think, is coming back this week. That said, Miles gets the pick, and we'll see how that old voodoo spell works. Shall we, Miles? All right. In our next game, Bastards, son of Pele, versus Autosmacked. It's 141 to 117 in favor of Bastard, sons of Pele. Let's take a look at the lineups. Bastard, sons of Pele have Peyton Manning against Indiana. That's why Peyton's a robot. That's why Jim's winning all these. Peyton's a damn robot. You can tell. You can still see the bolts in his neck. It's got Ty Hilton against Denver as well. It's got Ty Hilton in that Denver-Indiana game. Marshawn Lynch against Arizona. Frank Gore against Tennessee. Tony Romo for Miles against Philadelphia. It's a good matchup. C.J. Spiller against Miami. Eddie Lacy against Cleveland, who's the new star running back of my beloved Packers. I'm going to give the pick to Autosmacked because you got to rule against Bastard, sons of Pele, and their bastard undefeated season. That stuff's got to stop, Jim. It's got to stop. Nonsense got to stop. All right, in our game of the week is Rough the Passer at 3-3 versus the one who knocks at 5-1. Phil goes off 137 to 121 favorite. Phil's got Phillip Rivers against Jacksonville. He's got Eric Decker against Indy. He's got Ray Rice against Pittsburgh and Le'Veon Bell against Baltimore. Le'Veon Bell's been injured, but they expect big things out of him. That's a good matchup for Phil. For Rough the Passer, Cincinnati for Matt Stafford, Minnesota for Hakeem Nicks, Chris Johnson against San Francisco, Derek Martin, who's doing crap this year, against Atlanta. I don't like any of those matchups. I mean, Derek Martin is just playing terrible this year compared to last year. Now watch him go off. I hope he does. Got him in my other league. But at any rate, you know where this is going. I'm going to give the pick to Phil, who I think moves on to 6-1. All right, so I think we talked crap just about everybody, and we talked about League Pick'em, and we talked about our bye week. I think that's it. All right, folks, have a good week. See you. Bye.